Yeah, hello, I'm Nino Schurter. I'm riding for the Scots Ram mountain bike team. And I don't know exactly how many epics I did. I think 7, something like this, or?
I'm Karl Platt, starting this year the 19th Cape Epic, and I'm riding for Team Bulls now from Germany. Maybe the guys who follow the Epic know me a little bit.
My name is Kate Courtney, and I've raced the Cape Epic once in 2018.
The first time that I heard about the Cape Epic was actually when my very first Cape Epic partner, Ariane Luthi, she approached me because she wanted to compete in the women's category for the first time, and she was looking for a strong partner, and she asked me.
I don't remember exactly how, but I remember all the folklore around it, knowing that it was just a crazy, iconic, hard race, and that a lot of the bike I was riding, the Epic, was developed through racing the Epic. So, yeah, but it was just something far off in my head, and as a U23, first couple years, I told myself I'd never do the Cape Epic, and didn't stay true to that.
Cape Epic is Tour de France for mountain biking. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. Yeah, that's still what it is, and it's the biggest mountain bike stage race in the world. It's the most prestigious race what you can win and what you can do. It's hard. It's 8 days racing, very hard racing, in hard conditions. Sometimes it's very hot, very dusty. Riders are exhausted after a couple of days. All these things, yeah, makes it actually very hard to survive it in a good way, and that also makes it so interesting if you can do a good performance here, and that's the same with Tour de France. It gets all the attention, and that's what Cape Epic does as well for the riders.
The Cape Epic is the leader or the number one in stage racing all over the world, and many places look up to this event and kind of make their own little epic, if it's the Swiss Epic or in Andorra, in New Zealand, in Brazil, in Canada, whatsoever. There's like similar format where they, I don't know if it's fair to say to copy the Cape Epic, but for sure the Cape Epic had a huge influence on other stage races popping up in this scene.
My first stage of the Cape Epic, where it's like 3+ hours, I remember that day was so hard. It was one of the hardest days I've ever had on a bike. And I remember after just thinking like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do another one, let alone like 7 more, right?
I sort of felt like I was back racing in the World Tour. It was so hard and the fatigue really built up on me. And once again, I learnt about my psychology, a little bit about, you know, I really had to dig into the deepness of that inner motivation, I guess, because they're big days and you come to that point of fatigue sort of 4 or 5 days in on some single trail out in the back of nowhere, and you're wondering, how am I going to get through this? But you have to sort of learn about yourself again. And I went back to my old instincts of racing back in a Grand Tour and feeling like, all right, how am I going to get through this?
I think I learned a lot in the preparation phase. It was a bit of a long shot for me. I had never done a race over 4 hours or more than 1 day of racing in a row. So it was certainly something big to take on. But I think it motivated me a lot in the off season and just gave me something different to focus on, which was a huge benefit to me as a young rider, and especially with the pressure of a first-year elite. In the race itself, I would say you learn a lot about yourself and about your partner. But I think one of the biggest things that stood out to me is just the ability to be present with yourself in challenging moments. We were lucky not to have many mechanicals out there, but we had a flat one day and ended up a couple minutes down, and you realize the train's not stopping. Like, everyone's gonna keep going, and you have to just decide what you're willing to do to catch back up. And we turned ourselves inside out and caught back up. And I think those challenges and those sorts of moments where you're tested, maybe more mentally than physically, are really transformative far beyond the race.
Well, the cool thing about the Cape Epic is that it's changing every year. It's never just like copy paste, and you always experience new places, new trails, new things, but in the same consistent high level organization of that this event brings along. And yeah, there's something unique about the spirit at Cape Epic, that you feel kind of part of a bigger thing, part of a big family, and I think that's what makes people coming back year after year.
I mean, the Cape Epic gave a lot to me as well. Through all the media and the history, I also got a name through the Cape Epic. And yeah, what can I say? I mean, it's a life story. You can't just take it away.